Maharashtra government has announced a night curfew across all municipal corporation limits in the state, including Mumbai, Thane, Navi Mumbai, Pune, Nasik, Nagpur, amongst others. This will be effective from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. starting tomorrow. In fact, before we bring you more details, let me play out excerpts of the comments made by the BMC chief before we go ahead.
से कोविड फैल ना जाए, जो बड़े मुश्किल से कंट्रोल में आया है, उसको सामने रखते हुए 23 दिसंबर से 5 जनवरी तक रात को 11 से लेकर सुबह 6 बजे तक नाइट कर्फ्यू लगाया जाएगा, जिसके कारण ये जो एक पॉसिबिलिटी है वो ना हो पाए। जो भी उसकी सीटिंग कैपेसिटी, मैंने बोला नॉट मोर देन 5 पीपल आर अलाउड टू असेंबल। The assembly can be in taxi, it can be in a room, it can be in a ground. Assembly can be anywhere.
Mayuresh, in fact, is joining us with more details. Mayuresh, so of course, we had a detailed news briefing on what will happen in Mumbai, but even the other cities in Maharashtra will face similar curfew. Take us through the details. How does our life change?
Absolutely, Tanvi. If you go by the PC or the address by BMC chief, that it will hardly impact the lives of common men, because the rule or the rule for the curfew clearly says 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. But during this period, they are allowing, at least in city like Mumbai, public transport as well as private transport. So if you want to go or if you want to go at the airport to pick up someone, you can go with the permitted limit that not more than 5 people will be there in your car. So not much impact we can see, but yes, when we asked the BMC chief why state government has taken this decision, you could have just limited, or you could have altered the timings of the hotels, restaurant, pub where people largely gather during the Christmas and the 31st. That time he said that there are other functions also, social functions like weddings are happening, and to curb that movement we have taken this decision, and the state government has taken this decision. But if you see that nothing big will happen, or there will not be any big impact on people's life as during the curfew, because he categorically said that there is a difference between curfew and a lockdown. This is not a lockdown, this is curfew, and during the curfew the vehicle movement will be allowed. So people who will be coming to Mumbai or any other city of Maharashtra from other state, they don't have to worry, because the public transport as well as the private transport, including the cabs, autos, will be available for them to travel from one point to other point.
So Mayuresh, you are saying that if you land later in the night, on a flight from any other city, you can still go home. There is no problem there. If the 11 p.m. curfew, once it kicks in, does that mean I need to be home by 11 p.m. or the restaurants need to shut by 11 p.m.?
In general context, if we say that yes, a restaurant should be shut by 11 p.m. But if the people are there, they can go home post 11 also. As I said, BMC chief had cleared that there will not be any restriction for the vehicle movement. So people need not worry. Even if people who are working in offices which operates 24/7, or they are working in a late evening shift or late night shift or early morning shift also, even they have pick up and drop from the office, that will also not, that the operations of that will also not get hampered. So as I said, if we see in a broader thing, this rule basically talks about that, or we can say directly that there will be no Christmas party as well as there will be no 31st party. Rest remains same.
All right. Mayuresh, thanks so much for joining us, with those details. Let me also say good evening to Mr. Gurbaxish Singh Kohli, Vice President of the Federation of Hotel and Restaurant Associations of India. Mr. Kohli, good evening to you. We also heard from the BMC chief say this, that they have observed that many of the restaurants and bars and pubs are actually not following the norms. And it's actually quite visible in cities like Mumbai, where they are fully crowded, overcrowding, no social distancing, and I mean, obviously wearing a mask when you are eating or drinking is a difficult thing.
No, I think that's not true. I can only speak for our members, which form most of the hotels and restaurants of Maharashtra and of India. I think that is a misnomer. If you remember the unfortunate incident of Kamla Mills, where one illegal restaurant flouted some norms, and the entire industry had to bear the brunt for it. This is the same thing. Maybe they went into one or two restaurants who were not, or bars who are not following this social distancing norm. But I think coloring the entire canvas with the same brush is not what is called for, especially since this is an industry which has borne the brunt, the maximum brunt for about 8 months. We've been out of any kind of business, and you know how difficult it is to sustain yourself, your staff, etc. And we've not even started getting up as yet, and now we're being pushed down. Let me reiterate here that we do appreciate the civic bodies and the chief's actions taken earlier, because that is quick action that actually saved Maharashtra and Mumbai from what could have been an onslaught. But now I don't think it's required. After 8 months, if you're still not allowing an industry to even trickle back into action, it's only going to further throw us into a doldrum. And one question we have to ask: why are we only singled out? Why is the hotel industry? Why only the hotel and the restaurant industry? I mean, whom does this affect? After 11:30, the curfew affects only hotels and restaurants. So as I understand, this is not a curfew. This is a ban on timing.
Yes.
Because a curfew would mean nobody's allowed to go, the cars are stopped, nobody's allowed to gather. I don't know how this will achieve their purpose of curtailing
But
this.
Mr. Singh, okay, I understand the point you're making, and yes, this is essentially a curtailing of gatherings in other places outside of their homes. Essentially, we have the authorities saying, spend your Christmas Eve, spend your New Year Eve at home, don't come out and start partying. Do you agree that would have been a big challenge? Because this is the holiday season, people would have ended up coming out in large groups, and that would have become a challenge not just for the government but even the restaurants.
I see. I don't think so, because I think we're all people who have gone through this together, and we now understand the implications. We understand the seriousness of this. A pocket that does not understand this is still not going to understand it. They're still going to do whatever they want to do. So why are you punishing the entire state or an entire city for the actions of a few? Why don't you concentrate on curbing those pockets which you think are going to flout the norms? I don't think this is very disheartening. And in fact, we had written to them to increase the timing. So this industry which is growing up now, it is just trickling back. I mean, just see the figures. If allowed to remain open for more than 2 hours, it would generate anywhere between 50 to 75 crore per day and boost the revenues of the state by at least 30%.
Okay, I take your point as well. Well, this is the decision right now that the Maharashtra government has taken in the light of what's happening across the world. Let's wait and watch. We've seen that there were few raids that were also conducted by civic body officials on restaurants that were flouting the norms. But is it okay to ask everybody to shut down and pay the price for some of them who may be flouting norms? We don't know. That debate is still going on. Thank you, Mr. Kohli, so much for joining us and responding to our questions. So as of now, it is night curfew time this holiday season, at least for people in big cities in Maharashtra.